Hello, everybody. I welcome here Beatriz Delgado from Talleres ABSA, one of our longest partners or or business relationships. Welcome, Bea.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Yeah, nice. So just some few sentences about Talleres ABSA and yourself. So Talleres ABSA is one of our longest partners since 1992. The cooperation between ABSA and JFUR was established by my father back then. There's a nice anecdote. While he was on vacation, he's seen a construction machinery on the beach. He was climbing on it, looked inside what kind of components are built into that, I think it was a small excavator or wheel loader or whatever. And he looked inside and has seen a small switch there with a key. And on the key was the brand Kea, because Kea is the brand from Talleres ABSA.
That's it.
Okay, so and then back then, 92, we didn't have any internet. He went back in Germany to the Spanish embassy and asked them if they know the company Talleres ABSA or know the brand Kea. And they came up with Talleres ABSA. My father back then wrote a fax. No email
Imagine.
back then. Yeah. So, and sent it to ABSA. And the interesting thing is your boss and your owner, Antoni Jorda, is half German.
That's it.
So he was fluent in German. My father sent a fax in German actually because his English wasn't that good. And Tony replied in German. So, and that was the beginning of the business relationship.
So convenient.
Yeah, I mean, more than 30 years ago. So, and now, 30 years later, you're here. Beatriz Delgado, you are working at ABSA, and what are you doing there? What is your position?
So I've been working with Kea, with Talleres ABSA. Next year it will turn 18 years, so really long way. Yeah. So I got the chance just to grow with most of my customers. So it's also so good to see people development or companies and so on. So it's very fine to be here visiting you, also visiting customers. So it's always good to learn from you and from your customers as well.
Yeah, so 18 years, then your career at ABSA is almost as long as mine at JFUR, because I mean, I
Imagine.
started here in 2000, so 24 years ago.
Wow,
So
long way for you
I
too.
didn't know that we know each other that long.
It was a really long way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met a lot of your colleagues as well, your companies, a lot of people in your company, which is so good as well, because you learn a lot from everyone. So it's always so good.
Do you remember how many people we have been in 2008 when you started in ABSA and you heard about FUR?
Yeah, not really large quantity, maybe 8 or 10.
Can be. I don't know either. I would have to
Yeah.
look in the records. I'm not sure.
I remember
Yeah,
some
okay.
names, but I don't think it was more than 10, 12 people, honestly.
Yeah,
Now
that's-
you see. Yeah.
Now we're like 27, I think.
Wow,
Yeah, okay.
not bad.
Yeah, and to be honest, ABSA was always one of our reliable partners. I mean, we
thank you for that.
sell other products as well, but ABSA was always like a solid foundation. We could trust you, we can rely on you. So
thank you for that.
that helped us growing on other businesses or other products where we didn't know how the outcome would be. So
Yeah.
that was helping us in making the right decisions.
And for us, it's so important as well, cooperating with each other, because at last, you know much better German market than us. So
Did you talk to Tony about why he wanted to have a foreign or in Germany a local partner for selling your products? Or
I think in the very beginning, it was just because when he gets also the management of the company after his father, your company was already there, so which is work really good for us. But this is true that along the years, we saw that working with your company, it's really easy as well, because you know the culture, the product, everything from the market. So as we get on well during all these years, it's so easy working with a company like you. I mean, everything is so smooth, and I think we even contemplate not working with Wiki4 anymore, because at the end, honestly, it's a really nice business. We cooperate each
Thank you.
other. No, I mean, I didn't mean it, because at the end it's so easy. You are very welcome always to visit in our factory. You always open your door. So I think it's so easy working. Imagine during 30 years, you said, wow, it's a long way.
And as you just were talking about Tony's father, I remember, I mean, he had another company just around the corner,
That's
right?
it, yeah.
Back then it was called AST.
Yeah, AST. Yeah,
Because my
Maximo.
father also knew that company.
Oh.
And then I just remember, while we are talking, a drawer opens and I have other information now. I know that my father knew that company because we were selling in the past hour meters and battery discharge indicators.
yeah?
And it was almost the same parts the father of Tony, of your boss, was manufacturing just on the same hill where Talleres Absa is
Yes,
situated.
they are really close from us. So what a coincidence, everything. I mean, wow.
You remember the name of Tony's mother?
I think it begins Astrid?
Yes.
Astrid Weiderbeck.
And you know what the company's name of his father was? AST.
AST.
AST, the first three letters of Astrid.
I didn't know that. I mean,
I
that's new
could
from
tell you
us.
something new. Yeah,
Yes.
that was the
That's
why
a
he
funny
chose
thing.
that name.
I didn't guess that. Yeah. Oh, so.
Yeah, so the connection is pretty long, pretty old.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Cool,
I
okay.
said. I mean, it's been a easy but long way altogether.
I remember I was visiting Absa when I was little as well. I mean, I knew my parents and especially my father, they liked to do holidays in the warmer
Of course.
countries. So Barcelona was always welcome to be there for a holiday, and they tagged me along. And I remember visiting Tony as well. And I don't know if you were already working there, because one time I was on holiday in Barcelona because a friend of mine was there for a language trip, and Tony really welcomed me, accommodated me, and we had some lunch
Wow,
together.
that's so nice.
So that was I've always good memories with Talleres Absa, with Tony, and then with you. So going back to business, I mean, I remember that Talleres Absa is not only doing ignition switches, you're also doing locks, mechanical locks, which are only partly used in machinery like forklift trucks or construction machinery, mostly locks for like lockers for swimming pools, not swimming
For
pools.
everywhere.
yeah.
I mean, you know.
Recreational facilities, I think is the term.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, at the end it's true that we are here. We are mainly known in Germany. Thanks for the distributor for the ignition switches, but it's true that we do have another different branch that it's just promoting locks for lockers. I mean, since the very basic one with key, with keypad, or whatever, with padlock, and from the electronic locks that you can use it for wherever. I mean, museum, supermarket. I mean, you take for granted that you go to the opera and you just look for lockers. So there is another opportunity on.
I
From our
remember
side.
when I was still visiting Absa together with my father, that back then there was a version which was just operating with a euro, or actually with
Yes.
German mark.
Yeah, wow,
And
imagine.
pesetas.
In pesetas, yes.
So that was all mechanical. But I
Yes.
think now you transition
Less
to
and
more
less.
digital products,
Yes.
right?
Even factories. I mean, COVID situation, it was an opportunity for us because it was kind of a panic of touching something. So at the end, people instead of using tokens, padlocks or something like that, we all just wanted to use our personal ID. So I access to the building with my ID. I grab a coffee with my ID and I open and close my drawer or my whatever.
Without touching.
Without touching, with the same card. So everything is just, well connected. So that helped us a lot, and less, the trend is, as you said, less and less mechanical locks, and everything is going smoothly through the electronic locks, NFC, depending on the money, of course, it's always the same. But
I mean, that's really interesting that COVID helped you quite a lot, because the demand of the market, of the customers, was no touching. You could develop something which fulfilled that demand.
Yes.
And I mean, that was in a time where digitalization was on the rise. So you benefited from digitalization. As you said, everything's connected, and touchless entries.
Yes, we need to
cool.
be eyes open, and it's important for us just to hear the end customer, the really end customer, because sometimes we are in our desk and we don't know the reality of the market. So if we begin developing a lot of things but they are not useless for the market, it has no sense. So we saw that necessity, and we develop and we improve locks that we were already working. So we are mainly focusing hospitals. We have plenty of hospitals around Europe, offices and so on. So, it's a funny thing, because, when I began working at Keia, my mom told me, okay, you think that a company just making locks and ignition switches
Is that
can
interesting?
money? And 18 years later, I can say, yes, it's not a bad business.
Yeah, and actually, you took that, let's say, that technology learning curve from your lockers all the way, or you transition it over to the ignition switches, kind of to that market for vehicles, to say so. Because I remember we both developed a keypad which was used for forklift trucks. And I think the keypad was like a spin-off of your keypads from the lockers,
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
So
At the end, we got the knowledge. We need to apply it in different situations, and it was the case. We do have someone has the necessity of changing the key into a keypad, and as we were used to develop this kind of lock for lockers, we just got this technology and put it in a ignition switch, I would say.
I'm just thinking about, are those, because you said everything's more electronical and digital now, but don't you have a mechanical component in the locker switches as well? I mean, you have NFC or keypad, but there has to be one bolt.
Yes, always.
Okay,
Always.
it's not working by magnetism or something else, or magic?
No, there's no magic in that. Yes, there are there are, several components that are still mechanic, because it's not possible to do it in a different way. Even that they are working with batteries, you always need some mechanical things to activate the cam. Something's needed.
How about hacking? I mean, nowadays everybody's talking about hackers and hack attacks. Can you hack your digital switches, kind of like?
I think everything could be hacked. You just need,
right.
to be motivated.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say that our ignition switches or our keypads or our lock are unviable, because it's not true. I mean, if you want to open something, you are going to open.
Sure.
So,
I remember one customer of us for the ignition switches, like a forklift operator. He said he's selling those forklifts to, I think it was a big industrial butchery. And those guys, they didn't have the key at hand, and they just took one of their butcher knives, rammed it into the switch, turned around. I mean, with pure force, you can crack everything. Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay, but let's talk about digital development. Do you already have do you have a switch, a locker switch, which you can open with your smartphone?
Yeah, we do have a lock that is working with NFC. So, because at Keia we always want to keep things easy. I mean, just you download the application, approach to the lock, it opens, it closes, and that's it. And then you got different security levels. If you want to see who uses this lock or manage this lock, just avoid everyone to use it. So there's many different features on this kind of lock. But yes, more and more technology is demanded nowadays. So we need to, as said before, to keep our eyes open and to listen to the end customer to see where can we improve at the end. We are European manufacturer. We are based, as you said, in Barcelona. So competition is always so hard. So we need to be awake.
Okay. Then I have a good project for the future. We develop a switch for a forklift truck which can be opened with the smartphone of the operator.
Why not? It could be an option, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we are selling a lot of accessories for forklift trucks which are supposed to enable the operator to add his smartphone or like a cup holder or accessories or personal belongings, because the forklift truck is what the desk and our computer is for us is the forklift for that guy operating the forklift. He's sitting there 8 hours a day, so he wants to have it more comfortable. So. And he always has the smartphone with him. I mean, even some company apps are working there and showing him some internal communication or his next order to pick or whatever. So
it makes sense.
It could be a cool idea. Next time, we visit a customer and we present that idea, I think I like that.
Yeah.
Could you have that ready tomorrow?
I will ask. Maybe not tomorrow, but on Friday.
That's good. Yeah. That's a saying I heard. I mean, if you want to have a wonder, ask a sales department, and
always
we will have it ready in 2 weeks.
Always.
But if you want to have the impossible, ask the R&D guys.
Yes, that's not impossible to say. Okay, you think that's easy, but not. If I have paper supports everything, then we need to study. But I think it could be also a nice option, because if you are selling the accessory for the mobile, why not? Why not?
Yeah, that's cool. Why not? And the future. I think that's a good closing for now.
Oh, yeah.
I thank you very much, Bea, for visiting us and for that nice talk we just had, and for our glimpse into the future.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much to you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.